In this video, we're going to show you how to install the fuel pump on this Honda Civic. If you need any parts for this car or any other car, check us out at oneauto.com.
What we have to do is go to the inside of the vehicle. We're underneath the driver's side dash. We're going to grab the lower panel and gently tug forward. We're going to disconnect the little plastic tabs and pop the cover off like so. So once the cover is removed, you can see access to the whole fuse panel. Now on the top of the fuse panel, we have three relays. We have a black one, a blue one, and a black one. The middle one is labeled as the fuel pump. This relay is the one that we want to go ahead and remove. So we're just going to use a pair of pliers here. You want to be careful, you don't want to crush it. Let's go ahead and grab that, and we're gently going to wiggle and pull it straight out like so. Now we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle, and what's left in the fuel system should burn out, and then we're going to let it run till it stalls. So at this point here, there doesn't appear to be any fuel in the line system for the vehicle to start, so let's go ahead and move back out. Okay, we're going to use a 10mm socket and extension here. I'm going to go ahead and reach it down in the back here and get that bolt out. Now underneath the front of these seats on the bottom, there's actually a metal latch. And what you want to do is you want to push down and pull out. And you'll hear it unclip. There's one on each side. Go ahead and work your seat belts out. Pull that seat forward. Next, we need to open up the trunk, so go ahead on the driver's side and pull that release lever. There should be seat release handles, one here, and there's going to be one right here, okay? So what you want to do is pull this out and push that seat forward. Do the same for the other side. Next, we want to go ahead and lift up the spare tire cover. In order to release this here, you want to reach in, grab right here, and gently pull up. Grab the tray, pull up, and remove this from the vehicle. Now on the passenger side lower seat back section, you should be able to grab the material and just pull it up. It's a Velcro attachment. This is going to expose a 12mm bolt. Go ahead and use your socket or a ratchet. Remove that bolt. Now closer to the center, it's going to be the same. Pull up the material and remove these two. Grab that seat back, go ahead and remove it from the vehicle. Next, you want to go ahead and remove this 12mm bolt. It goes through the mounting brace on the body for that back seat. And the driver's side rear lower, pull up that Velcro, and that'll expose this other bolt here. Now we're going to go ahead and work the seatbelt out of the slot here, pull it off to the side. I'm going to grab the seat, gently kind of work it off to the side. So there's a plastic bushing right in the middle here that holds a metal pin from the seat back. You just want to work that out. You don't want to crack this because it is supporting the seat. Remove the seat back from the vehicle. Now we're going to use a 12mm socket and remove these bolts here. There should be 4 of them. Our particular vehicle is missing one, so we're going to go ahead and remove the other 3. Remove this bracket, set it aside. Next, we want to go ahead and remove this cover using your Phillips head screwdriver. Go ahead and remove the 4 screws. Using a plastic trim tool, we can go ahead and get underneath that trim and just gently work our way around. Now what we're going to do is grab the rubber grommet here, and you're just going to fold it in on itself and push it through the cover. Work it through, and this will allow you to bring this cover back and away. Next, what we're going to do is use a vacuum to clean up the area of all the leaves and debris. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a blowgun to clean off any residual dirt in here that the vacuum couldn't get to and clear it off, because we're going to open this up and expose the fuel to the inner part of the fuel tank. So we want to make sure there's no debris around here that can fall in there and contaminate the system. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses when you're doing something like this here. Last thing you want is sand and debris blowing back in your eyes. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the electrical connector, which is just simply pinch and pull. There's a tab right here. Pinch it and wiggle this off. Next, what we're going to do is disconnect this fuel line right here. And we're going to tuck some paper towels. You can do rags. This is just simply to catch any residual gas that might dribble or run out. Now the two little squeeze tabs on the side here, you can use your fingers. We're just going to pinch this. We're also going to put a towel over the top here, but we're going to pinch it and we're going to wiggle this connector free. This is just going to protect us from any residual pressure that's built up in the system here. Now I'm going to take a clean paper towel. I'm going to just go ahead and wrap the end of this here, tuck it around underneath. That's going to keep us from getting any dirt or anything else in that connector. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this line here. Now this has squeeze tabs on each side, so we're simply going to pinch the two of them and slowly start to work it back. Once it starts moving back a little bit, I'm going to grab some clean towels, just put it over the top and continue to pull it back. It just disconnects like so. So next we have to go ahead and remove this plastic lock ring collar that secures the fuel pump and sending unit in the tank. We're going to use a special tool here to line up and lock into place. Now using the special tool, because this is plastic, you don't want to use a brass punch, you don't want to use a screwdriver, anything like that. So use the appropriate tool for the job. All right, now that we have the collar loose, go ahead and lift the collar. There should be a rubber O-ring there. Set those aside. Now we grabbed a catch can here. You can use a bucket if you want, but a low level side here unit will be perfect. Want to reach over. Wiggle this unit free. Once you have it free, go ahead and pull it out. Now hold it for a moment, let as much gas run out of it as possible. And as you pick it up, tilt it to the side so your float level is free. Set that in the tank or in the can. Residual gas will run out of it. Next, we're going to go ahead and install the sending unit rubber gasket. So one side has a groove on the bottom. That is going to face the bottom. Solid part is going to be on the top. So snake it up and over and fit that right around the lid like so. Now on the float itself, you want to make sure that the baggie is off of this. So just remove the twist tie if yours happens to have it. Hold the rod in place. You don't want to be yanking on this here. Work that off. So on the tank itself, there are two hash marks to the right side of the hole. Now what you want to do is look at the top of the sending unit and there's an arrow. That arrow wants to be facing to the middle of those hash marks. So next what we're going to do with the rubber seal installed, feed in the sending unit float, lower this down inside. Now you can see that the sending unit seems too tall. It's supposed to be like that. It's actually spring loaded, so you gently press down, make sure that your fuel lines are out of the way, and this will compress down inside the tank. Make sure that your arrow is lined up with the hash marks on the tank. Next, go ahead and set the gasket on the top here. Grab your lock ring collar. Line that up and go ahead and start threading that down into place. So once we have the collar threaded on a few threads, I want to go ahead and use our tool, our installation tool. I want to get that lock ring bottomed out. Next, we're going to go ahead and reconnect our connectors. I want to make sure that the ports are clear and clean. Line this up, slide it on, and you hear it snap into place. Going to do the same for this unit here. Slide this on. Going to line up the tabs with the notches on the sides. Push this on. You hear it snap into place. Give it a gentle wiggle there to make sure that it is locked on. Now we'll go ahead and wipe up any residual gas that might have come out of those lines. Clean it up a little bit. We now take this connector here with a rubber boot. You could line this up. You have a notch around the edge of the rubber boot. Just push this through. Line this up on the unit itself. What you're doing is you're feeding it through just so it comes back onto the cap. Then take your connector, line it up onto the top of the setting unit, press it down, you hear it snap into place, and you can go ahead and line up the screw holes here and get your screws reinstalled. We're just loosely going to start these screws. We're not going to tighten them down yet. We'll get them all started, and then we'll come on back and tighten them up. Here's our last one, and we'll go ahead and snug these down. Let's go ahead and install our back plate here. Let's go ahead and tighten down these bolts. So we want to go ahead and try and install the lower portion of the seat first. Reason being is it's going to give us easier access to that little 10mm bolt down below. Don't forget to bring your lower seat belt pieces up. With our lower seat portion in, we're going to take that 10mm bolt and we can actually get easy access to the mounting. Get that bolt started in there, and we're going to go ahead and snug that up. Alright, so we have the upper seat cushion here. We're going to get our seat belt lined back up and put back into the guide. Just work that in. In the back corner, spin the bracket around, slide the seat over. I'm going to go ahead and get one of those bolts mounted in. Just going to thread it in by hand. So I'm going to go ahead and put this pin inside this bushing. Once you have that sleeve pushed inside, grab your bracket, grab the long bolt. I'm going to go ahead and get that bolt installed. We're going to snug that down, not tight, but we want to get that bottomed out a bit to hold the seat in place. Because we want to have a little bit of mobility there. Tighten down that bolt, fold the cover back over and stick it to a piece of Velcro. And we're going to tighten that down. Now you're going to take the passenger side back seat. You're going to slide both of your brackets up, peel the back corners back a little bit to expose the mounting points. Then we'll go ahead and slide the seat back. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the outer bracket installed first. It's a single bolt. Just get the bolt started, a few threads. Now come on over to the other side to that bracket, and there's actually 2 bolts that go here. Go ahead and get those started. Go ahead and tighten those down. Tuck the cover back over onto the Velcro on both corners. On the back side of the spare tire cover, there's a plastic trim panel with these plastic snap clips. So what we're going to do is go ahead and line this up. Get that set into place. Snap those down. Now we can go ahead and flip up the seats. Reinstall your fuel pump relay. Make sure the tabs line up. Make sure it's seated properly, nice and tight. Now have your under dash cover. You want to take these little plastic insert or tabs and put them into the notches in the dash.
So I hope the video helped you out. Thanks for watching.